We have new warplanes for the armed forces of the Philippines. The Philippines, which is now embroiled in a territorial dispute with China, is set to acquire new warplanes in 2 years to upgrade its poorly equipped air force. Attack aircraft, lead-in fighter trainees, attack helicopters, and light and medium transport aircraft were all expected to be delivered within 2 years, according to Defense Secretary Walter Gazmin. The Defense Department also plans to sign contracts by July 31st to implement 138 military modernization projects over the next 5 years. The Philippines has one of the most poorly equipped militaries in the region, having retired the last of its fighter jets in 2005. Looking to its main defense ally, the United States, to help it upgrade its armed forces, President Benigno Aquino said in an interview last May that it was also looking for aircraft from outside the United States. Meanwhile, the Philippines announced it had filed a diplomatic protest with China over Beijing's establishment of a new prefecture called Sansha to administer disputed territories in the South China Sea. Philippine Foreign Department spokesman Raul Hernandez said Sansha's establishment violated Manila's claim to the Scarborough shores and part of the Spratly Islands, as well as other areas within South China Sea. He told reporters that the ministry was awaiting the Chinese government's response to the protests. The Department of Justice assists the United States government probe of the Arroyos. The Department of Justice has started helping the United States government in its investigation of Ang Galing Pinoy Party List Representative Juan Miguel Mikey Arroyo and his wife Angela for alleged money laundering. Justice Secretary Laila de Lima said that they started looking into the matter after the U.S. government sought assistance from the Department of Justice, the latter being the central authority under the Philippine-U.S. Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty. De Lima kept mum on details of the investigation and maintained that everything is confidential while the probe is going on. She said inquiries on the case should actually be directed not to the Department of Justice, but to the respective embassies of the United States and the Philippines. De Lima revealed that part of the Mikey and his wife, 2 other individuals, were implicated in the case, but she did not identify the 2. In 2009, it was reported that Mikey had failed for the last 2 years to declare a 63 million peso property in California, which he bought and transferred to his wife in 2006. At the same time, Mikey said the money he used to buy the property came from cash gifts, which he got from their wedding as well as from campaign contributions. The Arroyo couple is separately facing tax evasion charges filed by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Mikey is accused of failing to file income tax return for 2008 and 2009 and filing inaccurate information in his 2005 income tax return. The Batasan is urged to attune the Home Worker Bill with the International Labor Organization. Senate President Pro Tem Jingoy Estrada expects that the Congress will fine-tune the provisions of the proposed Kasambahay Act to make it congruent to the standards of the propounded by the International Labor Organization or the ILO Convention 189. Kasambahay Bill is now pending approval before the House of Representatives. On the other hand, the Senate version was passed as early as December of 2010. Estrada cites that the Senate-approved version of the Kasambahay Bill and the existing labor code already maintains provision being espoused by the Domestic Workers Convention of 2011, such as the promotion of human rights of all household helpers and recognition of rights at work, prescription of written contract on terms and conditions of employment, entitlement to benefits similar to ordinary employees, membership to the Social Security system, the PhilHealth and pag-ibig housing loans, and prohibition against bonded labor and withholding of wages. However, the International Labor Organization Convention features a comprehensive set of social, legal, and economic protection and introduced novel stipulations such as provisions for compulsory education and opportunities for further education and vocational training, and establishment of accessible complaint and dispute resolution mechanisms, among others. Donaire almost undisputed. After handily defeating Jeffrey Matibula, the unifying WBO and IBF Super Bantamweight titles last July 7 at the Home Depot Center, Nonito, the Filipino Flash Donaire, could possibly fighting in the Philippines for his next fight. Donaire still needs additional world title belts in order to become the first Asian boxer to become the undisputed champion, a fighter recognized by each of the boxing organizations as top boxer in this specific weight division. According to Donaire, he wants to fight the guy with a belt, as he also has the goal of being the undisputed champion. He hopes to make this happen. Out of the possible opponents for Donaire's next fight, only Guillermo Regundo and Abner Mares hold world titles at Super Bantamweight. Toshikai Nikosha, who is the WBC Emeritus Champion and the #1 ranked Super Bantamweight fighter in the world by Ring Magazine and ESPN, has made it known that he wants to fight Nonito, the Filipino Flash Donaire. Hollywood Bowl concert gathers historic star power. The world-famous Black Eyed Peas with will.i.am, Apple the App, Taboo, and Nicole Scherzinger performed during the celebration of Global Pinoy Music last July 8 at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, California, where about 12,800 plus attendees, mostly Filipinos, celebrated their culture and heritage at the rare and groundbreaking Filipino event entitled Apple the App Takes You to the Philippines. Divided into two parts, the first half of the program had Hollywood Filipino-American actors Lou Diamond Phillips and Vanessa Hudgens sharing hosting duties with Apple the App. The first part showcased some of the Philippines' well-known talents like Martin Rivera, Ogie Alcacid, Becca Godinez, Belter Dessa, the Harada Kings, and Sandwich, Legacy, Jeremy Pasion, the Rondalia Club of Los Angeles, and the versatile Philippine Chamber Singers. Films came in full force as they celebrated heritage and culture in music, song, and dance, with the program combining new and old tinikling, hip-hop, haranas, and pop, traditional dances, and breakdancing. The second part opened with a top comedian, Joe Coy, who left Hollywood Bowl audience in stitches with his jokes. Apple the App performed some of his favorite songs like Bebot and Take Me to the Philippines. It was definitely unique, fresh, daring, but very Filipino, that everyone who was there had the most out of the memorable evening. And this has been your weekly news in review. This news has been brought to you by the premier Filipino-American newspaper here in the United States, the Philippine News. On behalf of management and staff of the Philippine News, this is David Rodriguez signing off and thanking everyone for listening. Maraming salamat po. Have a wonderful week and mabuhay po sa inyong lahat.